Hey everybody, and welcome back to my 2,000-day-old hardcore world. Today, to celebrate that milestone, I'm gonna be giving you a pretty thorough world tour, or at least trying to be. There might be a couple things I forget here and there, but we'll get to most everything. So yeah, if that excites you, and you are excited to see all of these awesome builds behind me, then be sure to settle in, sit back, grab a snack, and enjoy the ride because, like I said, this might be a longer one. So the first thing I want to talk about is this little village over here. So yeah, not too far from all of the excitement. Long time ago, I had spawned over there before this was all deforest for, the glories to come. But before all that, I spawned over here, cut through the forest, and made my way to this village where I actually set up shop for, God, probably close to 900 days? So this little building right here was actually my home for that time. Yeah, believe it or not, this is where I lived for like close to half of my world. Not too much left here, just a lot of my pets, my cats, my birds, all that good stuff, maybe a couple artifacts from before, but all stuff that will find a more permanent place in the world here soon, huh, kitties? But yeah, lots of good times in here, down here at the bottom of this mine shaft is where I found my first diamonds. This is where I used to go to gather resources when I needed them. You saw all the bamboo outside of the house here. Right, that's where I used to farm my bamboo. I would get some wood that way. Well, actually, this was before bamboo was even used for wood, so I don't even know why I had this here. Maybe it's just decorative. But yeah, these were my crop fields to start out. I used to have a sheep pen over here, which I very smartly put a lightning rod next to. You can imagine how that went. Yeah, but this was definitely a very special place in my world, and it still is for a lot of reasons, not only because I have to come over here to enchant still, but just for all of the memories. And one of those memories being our pal, the Lonely Villager. This guy has been stuck on top of his house, oop, there he goes, well, since day one, basically, so close to 2,100 days at this point, which is crazy, but I hope he never leaves because, well, all the other villagers around here, or at least I think all the other villagers, are no longer of the living variety, we'll say. So, yeah, glad he's here. I do still have my nether portal, some trees that I chopped down, and a couple other things over here, but the most notable thing I would say is our... Oh, and I gotta go to free camp to get it all into the shot. Is our little monument wall, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, it's become a tradition in this world to make a little monument or statue or whatever you want to call it every 100 and, well, now every 1,000 days that I survive. So eventually, I'm going to clean this area up, hopefully within the next 1,000 days. I don't know. I want to do a big village transformation here and turn this, into part of the city, part of the world. But that'll take some time. So maybe we'll start it the next 1,000 days. Regardless, though, everything like the monuments and farms and whatever else in between is gonna find its place somewhere else. So don't worry if these aren't here next time. They are going to have a great, loving home. And I would be beside myself if I didn't bring up some of the friends we have lost along the way. So rest in peace to the Frienderman, Golemy the Golem. Some good friends in this world. We're gonna miss them. All right, kind of going in chronological order here. I want to talk about the castle next, which we last episode officially named after building it 1,000 days ago, Castle Viper. Now, this castle here was very heavily inspired by Gemini Tay's base back on season... What was that, 9? Yeah, I think season 9 of the Hermitcraft server. I just really like the color palettes, and I tried to make it my own. But, definitely takes heavy inspiration there. But give you guys a little one last flyby here. Yeah, I tried to make these different like unique roofs. This was something that was like pretty outside of my comfort zone at the time, but I do really love it. And you know, I think I've become a better builder since, but I'm still really proud of this. And I don't know, maybe one day I'll like update it or renovate it or expand it, but I'm really happy with it right now, and I kind of love it. So I don't know, it's very nostalgic, which you're gonna see as a big theme for this world. Um, Around here, though, things that probably will get updated a little bit. I have what I was calling like the botanical gardens. I have some like crystals, drip leaves, whatever, just all around the castle here. And they're cool. They're fine. I liked it a lot more, I think, when I first built it. Probably going to go in and spruce this up a little bit because it is, yeah, it's definitely a little bit lackluster. And so it's the inside. Here, I built this, you know, 1,200 days ago, but I have plans for the inside here, but nothing's really been done yet. The real magic of the base, oh, and there's another entrance here which leads to, well, spoiler territory for later in the video. But the real part of the base I want to show off is over here. So we have another entrance, and you know, obviously you can go up more in the towers like this. Still nothing up in these sections, but down here, this is where the magic starts. So this is pretty much the bulk of my base, where I'd spent like most of my time in this world, doing a lot of stuff around, you know, 800, 900, 1,000 days before I started working on the city and other projects. But you can kind of see a glimpse of what's to come, right? We're in Castle Viper right now. We have the totally finished mountain down here. Whoa. There we go. And then our sections of the city, as well as the forest and the farmlands, which we will get to here shortly. So I'll go down this way first, because not too much to show off, just the automatic pumpkin and melon farms. I do want to hook these up to the villager trading hall, because this gets overflowed like way too fast. Maybe I need some auto crafters too. And then same thing, we have some sugarcane and bamboo. This is eventually, or the plan was to make this like a big honey wall, so they would shoot out all the resources and the honey would come or the sugarcane, whatever, would come sliding down into the hoppers, and I could just grab them here. I still want to do that, but I don't know. I just haven't really found time for it yet. So yeah, I'll get to that eventually. Going this way, because there's not too much to show. This is just a way to get here on foot. So, you know, without having to drop down through the little hole in the ceiling, right? Without having to use our elytra to fly out, you can also walk out that way. Oh, excuse me. You guys are making me sleepy, and I just started the world tour. Dang, sorry about that. Well, in here, this always reminds me a little bit of, if you guys seen Indiana Jones, the hangar, right, where they store the Ark of the Covenant. I think it's just because there's so many chests, but it does kind of have a hangar-y feel to it. But yeah, this is obviously my storage room, complete with like water, and just tried to make it like very lush and some, I don't know what you would call this, like brutalist architecture, like the bamboo's chained up. But all super cool. Just have my basic like necessities in the middle here, and the redstone behind here is, whew, this is probably the craziest redstone contraption I've ever built before. This also broke probably in like, yeah, August of, oh, maybe that's why. This broke probably or at least the auto sorting feature of like, I don't know, August of 2023. So it's been like a year and a half. I haven't really done anything about it. I mean, I've been playing on this world for about 3 years now, 2.5, 3 years. So it's been broken for the majority. This is like the second or third time it's broken, but when it works, it's great. It also has shulker box storage and sorting capabilities. But yeah, as you can see now, the junk is just kind of piling up because I can't automatically unload it, and I am lazy. But at least we have my good buddy Jeb here to keep us company. He will get his own home one day as well. And then the deep slate is great pickaxe, which yeah, I'm going to show you what that's all about here in just a second. So we do have a redstone contraption access panel in case of breaks like this. but it also leads down to do maintenance on my not so super smelter, where again this is kind of broken. Same thing with a failed attempt for a chunk loader. Lots of not so great things down here, but if I go way down here in free cam, you see this was all mined out by hand, and that's where that deep slate is great pickaxe comes into play. I did a little challenge where for everybody that subscribed, I would mine, I think it was a stack of deep slate. And needless to say, a lot of you guys subscribed. A lot of you guys wanted to see me mine deep slate. And yeah, I held up my end of the bargain. So that is why the deep slate is great pickaxe exists and why it is forever immortalized in this world. All right, on to our next section here. Oh, I almost forgot. Bedroom. Team Rocket Grunt looking leather armor thingies. And then a little glow lichen farm. Real simple, but kind of like nether type themes to contrast what we got going on here. This is very blue and prismarine and stuff. And oh, I think about I'm gonna sleep just because it's night and we're gonna be going back outside in a minute. But anyways, we have what'll at one point be the library, but now it's kind of just a cactus, vine, nether wart, iron golem farm. So it's a bit of a mess, but this does contain the official world book. So if you want to make your way into the world book, here I'll give you a little shameless plug camera angle. If you want to make your way into the world book here, you can leave a comment with an idea, a suggestion, or, you know, maybe just a bit of positivity, whatever, something you enjoyed about the video. And there's a chance I might put you here into the world book. So I like to add, you know, maybe one or two different things each episode just to kind of keep it fresh and as my way of staying engaged with you guys, because, I mean, at the end of the day, you are a big part of this world too. So yeah, let me know. And especially, I think we're going to need some mob names or maybe some names for buildings in the city. So if you got any idea, or maybe you want to come up with some lore or backstory, go ahead and drop it down in the comments, and maybe I'll add it into the world. Who knows? Anyways, over here we have the Villager Trading Hall. So this was kind of inspired by Diagon Alley from Harry Potter, in that I wanted to just make this feel, you know, maybe a little more close, but I wanted to kind of make it like a darker, grimier, like seedy underbelly almost of like the city. So right, this is right beneath the castle, so I think the contrast of like the, you know, very light and enchanting castle contrasted by this very, like, I guess still enchanting but also like dark, more mystical, kind of mischievous underground is very much what I was going for. And it does serve a purpose. Each one of these buildings, although not, you know, done yet, will eventually, hopefully by the end of 3,000 days, be a villager trading hall. So each one of these is going to be for a certain villager. I don't remember off the top of my head which is which, but like I think this one is the mason. This is the potion dude, whatever you call those ones, clerics. That's the name. So each villager gets their own little like custom building here. When we go back in here, there is a villager breeder, some junk and trading, and a bit of a mess. But this is kind of what we're working with now. Eventually, I want to do full on interiors. You can see I've kind of cleared space, but I want to do full on interiors for all these, including the library back here. And yeah, I think it would just be really cool and a lot of fun, and kind of wrap up this project, which I started, you know, around 1,100 days. So this was actually the first video that would have been part of like the new like journey to 2,000 days. So yeah, down here, oh, cool piston door, by the way, shameless plug. This took me way too long, but I figured it out. In here though, we have the kind of like creepy tunnel, like enter if you dare, to like the Diagon Alley type area. Down here, it just leads down to the water and a path that needs completing. And you can see over there, there's the village. But up here is one of many ways to enter the Midtown area. So we got a couple different ways, right? You can come in from the seedy underbelly, which we just spent some time in, or you can come in like from the front of the castle, as well as a few ways like from lower Midtown, and then maybe if you're coming from over in the spawn village. Let's just go ahead and enter Midtown right through here. This is kind of the most common way I would say people enter, or I enter. I'm people. Nobody else plays in this world. But on the inside here of our first building, we have this lovely chandelier, all kinds of foliage. But try to give every building a purpose, you know, at least for the most part. But this one I feel like is kind of underused. I was using it as sort of like, and I want to get back into it, but sort of a way to document, you know, things I want to do around the base, things like, you know, farms I want to build in the world, and then, you know, maybe other things. So for example, the farms is a good example, right? I did my cactus farm, salt generator, 2 tall flower farm, all this stuff, right, has been done, so it's been checked off. And then a gold farm I have not gone around to yet, so I haven't checked that off yet. But there's, you know, a lot of other projects I've worked on here, like I could put the forest and the mountain and all that stuff, which, spoiler alert, we're gonna take a look at a forest and a mountain later. But yeah, as for design for this one, I think you can kind of tell that it's inspired by actually the castle itself. Basically, the idea is that whoever you know, built this, lives here in town, just kind of wanted to mimic or you know, pay homage to whatever the king had done here in the castle, or, you know, I guess whoever lives in the castle. I guess it's me. Am I the king? I don't know. That's some lore we'll have to work out. But yeah, so that's kind of just the history behind this build. And as they say, mimicry is the most sincere form of flattery. I think that's what they say. I don't know who they are, but yeah, that's totally a saying. Around this way, you can see we got our little sniffer pen here. So I tried to add in, like, I don't know, things that looked almost alien-like, because these guys are kind of weird, but they have a nice little pasture here, and they're, you know, kept company by one another. And then obviously straight ahead here we have the pond, which is very lush and overgrown. You see too, the pathways kind of blend from like this cobble into this mud. And I think, you know, I wanted to do this because, like, I want Midtown to, here, I'll get you a better view. I want Midtown to feel like it's a little bit older. Like, we'll talk about these pathways here, but they look a little more pristine. Midtown kind of feels like it's older, and like they're trying to revitalize, and there's like a lot of like historic stuff going on here. But it is, you know, at the end of the day still, right, these very like beat down pathways. And you can even see down here maybe some of like the old brick road before it got weathered and muddied. It is still popping up in just a few places here, so that's kind of like cool, I guess, road lore, if you guys are interested in the roads in my world. Some horses, just like some, you know, storage bits and bobs. We do have a bit of a torch spam problem, but that's something I'll have to clean up another time, I guess. This building does have a name and a pretty awesome purpose. It is the Prickly Pub. It is, you know, a pub, as you can tell from all these like different just little seating areas and stuff, right? Lots of just decor. It's supposed to feel very like nice and warm, hence a fireplace, and like almost homey in here. And you can tell, right, there's like a lot of shelves and stuff, and yeah, I don't know, carpet. It just kind of feels like cozy, like an inviting, like local little pub. You know, it might be a spot where you hang out with your buddies or whatever, or after you get off a shift from the mines, whatnot, you can come up here, fill up your tankard or your cup, whatever. And much like I feel like a lot of like local breweries and distilleries will kind of show you like the process of how their cactus juice or whatever is made, you can kind of see that here, and on the second floor as well. So you can see in, and you can actually see in from this side as well, so people passing by can be like, ooh, that looks good, and then yeah, they come on in. So I guess cool marketing tactic by the Prickly Pub. Down here is the actual functional aspect of it, because remember, I'm trying to make everything have function. Not everything does, but this place does. It is a cactus farm, and actually we were able to fill up this barrel. I just checked this earlier today, and yeah, that's pretty crazy. Now it has been running for like, I don't know, in the background for don't want to say a year, but a long time, guys. This is not the most efficient cactus farm, as you can tell. Like, I designed this. This is not very efficient. It loses a lot of drops. I tried to put in like these hoppers to combat that, but yeah, it's not the most efficient. But I don't need a ton of cacti, so I do want to touch on this real quick though. Anytime that I like take inspiration from a build, or straight up use somebody's build, I always leave, well, I'll give credit in the video, but I always like to leave what I call a credit book. So in this case here, I said that these towers, that make up the Prickly Pub are inspired by a build the Legend Bee did. And I have a link to his video here. So you can check out his video, check out his channel. He's just got some like really awesome stuff in general that inspires me. But yeah, just kind of like the outline for this, not necessarily the colors and stuff, but some like shape stuff I really drew inspiration from, and then probably copied like a roof or two. So yeah, definitely go check him out. Never trying to steal anybody else's designs and whatnot. Always give credit. We gotta have a little talking to. Don't steal, don't plagiarize, it's bad. Okay, cool. Now that we got that out of the way, that awkward encounter out of the way. Yeah, up here, this is just a big like booth table kind of. Maybe this is for like a big family, or maybe you're like really important, so you rent out this whole room, and you can see like banners, cool little chandeliers, and then lots of storage, and maybe like these pots of like cactus juice, sauce, whatever, being shipped out. So maybe they're just sending them here to get shipped, and this is just kind of like overflow storage. And then over here, a lot of the same, right? We have these chairs and tables, and some different little places to get refills and whatnot. Some cool views out here, not so much this side, right? We have some more work to do, but over here is kind of cool. You can see out, well, you can actually fall out of here. This is a safety hazard. Oops, don't tell OSHA. But you can, sit here and enjoy the view, and you can see like parts of the forest and the can you see? Yeah, you can see a little bit of the farmlands over there, which we will talk about later on in the video. And yeah, just kind of Midtown as a whole. So pretty cool stuff going on here. But that's pretty much it for the Prickly Pub. On to the next section here in Midtown, we have the little market stalls. So just wanted to make some colorful like little wool stalls here. Maybe eventually we'll have traders here, maybe villagers, maybe cats, maybe both. Those of you who know who these guys are will understand the cats reference. Those of you who don't, you'll get it soon. Little water well here. I believe this was designed by Average Tuna over on Pinterest, so definitely go check them out. Super cool little design. Yeah, just something kind of cool. I figured, like, what would they have in the center of town besides more market stalls? And yeah, water is definitely a big one. So you can see that's kind of in use. Just some more storage, whatnot around here. Before we get into this building, though, I do want to talk about this little guy here. So first and foremost, right, first and foremost here, this does connect back up right to the city, or the castle rather, excuse me. And you can see how this kind of blends in. Not too much on the backside here. I think one day we will spruce this up a little bit when there's actually, more up there. But for now, just kind of some storage, whatnot. And it leads us over to this not really functional moss tower. I'm struggling with what to like put in here. I guess it could be like a watchtower, but I think it might be cool to do like, I don't know, like an apothecary or something in here. This just feels like it has like a witchy, potion-y kind of vibe, and I think that would be pretty cool, or almost like a natural, like herbal kind of feel to it. Again, though, the idea for this is actually that this used to be, right? It's very similar to these guard towers, but this used to be one of the guard towers, and that the castle actually like used to extend out this far, like the castle walls and city walls and stuff. So hoping to incorporate that a little bit more as we go in the world. Maybe like there'll be more like another tower over here, and we'll be able to have like some of the crumbling walls, something like that. I don't know, I think that could be pretty awesome. But that's kind of the lure for the mossy tower. Now on to this build, which I was calling like the 3 yellow houses, I think, when I built it. But this was one where I just kind of challenged myself. I didn't really have a reference for this. I just said, you know what? Wouldn't it be crazy if I could just kind of compile all of these random like blocks and color palettes, but somehow make it look good. I mean, like there's a lot going on here, a lot of different textures, colors, whatnot, and you could probably tell that yourself, but I mean, honestly, like I like this build a lot. I'm still like, I thought maybe I would not like it as much, it wouldn't hold up, but I do still really enjoy this. I think like the use of like the composters here is super cool, and then the barrels right as dividers, same thing with the looms, and then even on the side here, like including like the mushroom blocks and stuff. I think the thing though I might be most impressed with is the honeycomb. Like the honeycomb really works, and sure, I have it like kind of muted a little bit with the trapdoors and ladders and whatnot, but I mean, I think this build's pretty cool. I'm actually quite happy with this. We'll go in a minute, but I'll just kind of take you guys around real quick. We have like a little like workstation back here. Maybe there's somebody like working at the anvil here, kind of looking out over the farmlands, and over at, well, this little area. It has a name. I'm not going to tell you yet because that would be a spoiler. But yeah, it's just lots of like storage and whatnot around. The inside though, definitely on the functional side of things. So we do have a little like access panel for redstone up here, redstone farm we'll talk about soon. Just some storage of water bottles because we have a mud farm right here, which I don't use a whole lot, and ooh, actually I might have broken it, so maybe that's why I don't use it a whole lot. A basalt generator on this side, so again, yeah, very functional. This, I think the lore behind this was that this was like an inventor or like tinker's workshop, so that's why we have like the anvil and stuff in the back. But I don't know, maybe that's just a lazy kind of way that I can get around just not really having a good interior for this. Yeah, this, and I guess that explains why this doesn't work too. There's supposed to be lava in here, so if you don't know, lava and the what is this, blue ice? Packed blue ice? I think it's blue ice. When they interact with each other, it creates basalt, and this is just kind of like a basic stone generator, right? It would push it out, and I could just stand here and mine it. I thought because it was in the Crimson Wood that it wouldn't burn down this building. I was wrong. It caught a lot of this on fire and burned it down. So even though I had tested that in creative, in survival, it did not work. So yeah, be careful with lava. Up here, probably my most useful farm, very loud. But my micro crop farm, which, oh, this was a lifesaver when I was building the farmlands, you guys. I used this probably like for hours. You just fill this with bone meal, and then you can aim in at, oh, that's so loud. You can aim in there at the little piece of tilled grass. What, I'm blanking on the word, but you know what I mean. I also just have some like decorations, like he tried to maybe make it a little bit more homey in here. And then this is a cocoa bean farm that might also not be working. I think there's supposed to be a piece of seagrass there. Probably have some somewhere. And then I also just put notes on the mud farm, which is designed by Il Mango, by the way. If you're looking for a mud farm, that is definitely one of the mud farms of all time. But yeah, that wraps up this building, which I guess it needs a name. So again, drop names in the chat for some of these buildings. If you can come up with some, it would be greatly appreciated, because yeah, trying to expand my world building and my lore. Next up, we have the town hall, which I think the lore was, this is kind of like a old repurposed church. Now, I did not design this one, as you'll see in the credit book. Inside, this was Grayson builds, which they build so many awesome, incredible things. But this one was just one that I was like, you know what? I feel like this totally fits like the old, revitalized, like revamped kind of idea I'm going for. With Midtown. So yeah, this was definitely a cool one for me to add in here. So you come inside, you got like a little like secretary's desk, because again, this is the town hall, and you know, the mayors might be busy. So, you know, they got all their files, their filing cabinets and whatnot, as well as the credit book. So yep, go check out Grayson Builds on Instagram. All credit goes to them for the designs. Yep. But more importantly, we have the mayors, because that's right, as I kind of alluded to earlier, the city is run by cats. That's right, they have a trifecta, these three. And, you know, I don't know, maybe they have some nefarious intents going on with their stall here, but they also have a cherry blossom, so you know what? No, they're probably good. And oh my goodness, look how cute. Okay, how could they be evil? They just make all the decisions for the people in the town. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. But they do have names, so shout out to any of the people who had dropped names before. We have Bismuth, we have Macaroni, and we have Lucy. So these guys are the best in the business, and they're all pretty nice. They're not evil, so we can totally trust them. Oh, and they do have a cool chandelier, and I'm just kind of now realizing how many chandeliers I put in this world. Like in Midtown alone, I think what this is like the 1, 2, 3, fifth chandelier. Fifth, is that right? Lots of chandeliers, lots of good stuff. All right, on to the white roof building, which, again, guys, I'm gonna need some help with the names. I think that this could use some help. Well, I'm inside of a tree. It's pretty cool. This is definitely a smaller one, but I wanted to. I hadn't really used dripstone at the time, so I wanted to go ahead and incorporate that. And I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out. I think it's a pretty cool build. Now, in terms of interior, we have no interior. There's nothing going on here, but I think this could be like a super cool, like, tiny library or like coffee shop or like kind of like hybrid like place where you could like just come and hang out and read your books and do whatever. But I don't know. I'm open to ideas, and you know, it can't be anything too huge, right? It's pretty cramped in here. Right, back outside, we do have this little like kind of pond thing, like maybe like the rain water's just been collected up here. Maybe it goes down into the sewers or something. Who knows? But we do have a kind of like seedy little pathway here connecting them up. Just lots of storage. And this is actually a little park, as we have a bench here where we can kind of look out at the forest and the mountain and the farmlands, and like, wow, just really enjoy the views. We've really done wonders on this section of the world. Everywhere else is gonna need a facelift in 3,000 days, but for now, this is where we're at. We also do have like a little birdhouse on our... Oh, wait a second. Wait, I gotta fix this. There we go. We have a little birdhouse on our tree here, which is one of 2 big custom birch trees. There's another one I think I showed you guys earlier, just right up there. Yeah, and it kind of, right, this park kind of rounds out Midtown. But before we leave Midtown, we got to talk about 2 other builds. The first is this awesome little flower farm. This is our Too Tall flower farm. And this was designed by Sunny Sev, I believe it was. Yeah, but this was a build, I think, over in her hardcore world. And the inside was a little bit different, but the outside, I think I varied a little bit, but I, you know, added some mangrove, and like the copper roof is different, but you know, it's still almost entirely her design. I just kind of put my own touches on it, but I just loved it so much, and I was like, man, I got to do something with cherry wood. It was pretty new at the time, and yeah, I'm really happy with my decision. So all credit though goes to her, as you'll see in the credit book upstairs. Nothing too crazy though. Too Tall flower farm, so we can farm those flowers. And then upstairs, right, we have our flower storage, maybe if they do like shipments and stuff. I think is this our credit book? Let's see. Yep, it sure is. And I don't think I put like a lore book. Maybe I'll start adding like little bits of lore, but I believe the lore for this, right, as we said, this was a like mom and pop kind of shop, but unfortunately mom had passed away. And although Pop he's an author and an artist, and he was never, you know, the biggest fan of the flower shop, he's kept it going for, you know, his wife, and to honor her and as a way to remember her. So yeah, I bet you didn't expect to get choked up on this world tour. Yeah, that's right. We got some beautiful lore and loving backstories and stuff for here, but it does need a name. So, you know, I could see us hanging a sign right there. So yeah, I'm getting myself ideas. If you guys aren't gonna comment names, then you know what, I'm getting some of my own. So it's okay. It works out. All right, and for our last stop, at least on Midtown part of the tour, we have this little guy, the wool farm. Now, this one was partially a me design, but I believe it was the mossy overgrown roof part of this was inspired by, I believe it was Sweetly Starship. We'll confirm that with the world book, but I do definitely get a lot of inspiration from their build. So yeah, definitely go check it out. This was cool though. I saw, I think it was Joel over on the Hermitcraft server do, the whole glowy signs thing in his cyberpunk base. I thought that was cool. And then the idea of like alternating these signs, I don't know, just as like decorations or like little hanging banners, I think looks pretty cool. Obviously too, geez, if I could speak. God, we're like halfway through the world tour, guys. I'm tripping on my words. Um, Obviously though, as it's pretty lush outside. Oh, that should be picking up. Well, I'll check that out in a minute. I wanted to make it pretty lush inside, so we do have 2 levels of sheepage, you could call it. One for every color wool. And yeah, more importantly though, we have this beautiful like big open windows, lots of just lush greenery. Whoever runs this place, right, they definitely care a lot about plant life and the environment. And yes, it is Sweetly Starship, so be sure to check out their content because they do have some awesome builds. In terms of efficiency, I mean, this thing is pretty efficient, I would say, because I have these chunks loaded like pretty much all the time. So yeah, this place is kind of always going. Hey, do you guys remember like 30 seconds ago when I said that this farm is pretty efficient? I have something to show you. These are all full of wool right now. Really efficient. So I guess the farm had backed up, and it was still working, right? But the hoppers were starting to overflow, so maybe it's time to, yeah, rework my storage system here, because this is, I think, like an entire inventory full of shulker boxes of wool. So I think we're gonna have to start building with more wool. Jeez. Alright guys, now I want to continue the tour down here into Lower Midtown. Yeah, I know I got real real creative with the name here. But no, I mean, it makes sense. This is still kind of the same area as Midtown up here, which we just went through. But in lower form, because, well, we just went down that staircase. Or you can come down this little way here, which is, you can tell, kind of uncompleted, but maybe we'll tidy this up in an episode soon, or in a stream soon, or something like that. I think will be the vibe. But yeah, down in Lower Midtown, the first thing that you're really met with as you enter is this little like stone kind of park. I wanted to kind of do something similar to like this little park up here, right? You can see the park benches kind of continuing down this way. Oh, also I put some frog lights in the fountain here. I think that's kind of a nice touch at night. Nothing too like spectacular, but again, they're trying their best to really revitalize this area. So they added in some new like lamps, park benches and stuff, and you can hang out here and maybe, throw some coins into the fountain, make a wish and whatnot. Same thing with like this little pumpkin patch field thing. I don't really like love this, to be honest, but I'm thinking maybe at some point soon here we'll redo this. I mean, yeah, you can kind of see with the floating pumpkins. Maybe not my best work, but maybe we'll add just like wheat or something here. I don't know. You've probably noticed there's this little like hobbit hole door kind of thing here. Let's check it out, because this is one of my favorite areas in the world, and really just favorite from like an efficiency standpoint. So you can see it kind of gets like dingier and grimier as you go down here. And this is actually a moss and bone meal farm. So if I just go in here, this is where I AFK, I have a little like hidey hole here. And yeah, this thing is great. I mean, I talked about it, I think it was episode 15 I talked about this. I mean, the farm is great. It's crazy efficient when you have it in moss mode, and it's still pretty efficient with bone meal. I will say it's not as efficient, but it's pretty darn efficient. So like, that's awesome. The only issue I have with this farm is I initially had it like flip-flopped, like this stuff was over there, and it wouldn't work. So I have to build it facing, I think this is south or west. I don't know. I mentioned in the video, but yeah, basically though, to switch it between moss and bone meal. So you can see here this little chest. I like to leave reminders for myself in case I forget. But yeah, just swapped out the chest for moss mode. Usually though, I keep it in composter mode because I need a lot of bone meal. And then, oh yeah, I put a little hidden door so I could access that easily. Just make sure the farm hasn't broken. So that is the bone meal farm. Next up, let's talk about the tavern. So this was a pretty fun build. I wanted to add in like a couple like unique things with this, along with it being like orange, which is already kind of like an out there color. But hey, we already said we want Midtown to be very colorful, and we do have a little bit of orange over there already. But yeah, I wanted to add in like this little wizard tower type thing, as if they like keep like a potions wizard or like a brewery master, whatever, on site, some sort of like wizardy guy. So that's kind of what's going on there, even though you can't really get in it. There's not actually like a tower, but it looks cool from the outside. Some more lore. And then like almost like they have this like keg slash balcony built into the side. Maybe it's like their emergency brewery kind of thing. So that's what's going on. On the inside here though, we have some food and drinks. Again, you see these banners dotted around just like you would have throughout other parts of Midtown, and throughout like the villager trading hall and stuff. Just a bunch of like little tables for the patrons. The bar itself over here, which they have, you know, you can see like a little oven and everything, and just kind of whatever they might need stored here. Then if we head upstairs, gonna see the balcony looking out over here, which we'll get to all this soon, don't you worry. But if we go back here, just another like little back porch, kind of looking out at the painted forest over here. There's also a back entrance, and not too much around the side, just some like pots and whatever. So nothing like super crazy here, just like storage, whatnot. And this doesn't really have a purpose right now. This is more just like lore world building, but I would like to, I don't know, maybe make it some kind of farm or something in the future. Unlike this, which maybe needs a little bit more lore and stuff, because it has like almost this, I don't even know what to call this, like it's infected type area, like this, it's spread out from this building. And that's kind of the vibe we're going for here. Maybe you guys can help out with the world building and the lore for this, but this is a lava farm. So nothing too much to talk about inside of here. Just, you know, there's lava above this dripstone. It drips down. I can collect it up in buckets, use it for fuel. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and collect it right now because it is really full. All right, and leaving Lower Midtown, we can either head to the Painted Forest or the Farmlands, and we are going to head to the latter over this way. So, the Farmlands, obviously, a bit of play on words on the Farlands. I know I'm just so clever like that, guys. I'm sure that's why you're all subscribed and sticking around us for more silly little puns like that. But no, the Farmlands is basically just this big old, you know, crop field area, right? We have a ton of wheat, a lot of wheat. We have some over there as well, but then a ton of carrots, beetroots, potatoes, and more. And there's some flowers and stuff over here at the windmill, which we're gonna head over to now. But basically, you know, from a lore standpoint, you know, we're building this huge city over there, right? And we're working on Midtown and rounding out Lower Midtown and stuff. So it stands to reason that all the people that live here are going to need something to eat. Obviously not these flowers, but they're going to need a lot of food. So that's kind of where the idea of the Farmlands came into play. Now, there's nothing in here. I think I would like to put a wheat farm in here. I think that's the idea. I think it's kind of on brand and right. I'm trying to make everything, you know, as functional as it is aesthetic in this world, you know, form and function. So that would be, you know, my idea for this area here, but who knows, maybe we'll use it for something else. And then the little farmhouse, which is over there, would be used for other like wheat storage, I guess. Maybe the wheat farm would output to like a chest over there. As for this way, I have some ideas, you know, in the future for both of these little islands. Maybe not so much out past these unloaded chunks and whatnot, but I do have some really cool ideas for what's going to come next for those ones. But yeah, for now, let's just fly on over to the other side here, because there's not really too much. I mean, this was a massive project. This took like days and days and days at a time, which is crazy because it doesn't really have a function right now, but it just like, it really looks pretty. And the idea was like, again, beautifying the world, right? Wanting to make this feel like a lived-in world, and we'll get into that here shortly with the forest and the mountains as well. But yeah, this is basically just a little house in here. You know, I know I guess I know some people have worked on farms and whatnot, or owned it, and it just feels like, you know, maybe their space isn't the most high up on their priority list, I guess, right? You want to keep the farm up and running at all costs, so maybe this is like this is nice and quaint, but this is just enough for the person who lives here is the idea. So also, I just kind of built it smaller than anticipated, so we had to come up with some lore to kind of cope with that. And we also caught this guy during the build, which was pretty fun. So he just kind of hangs out in there. He does have a name, but I forget because he's in the boat, and yeah, I'm just worried about him getting out, so we're going to leave him in the boat. And then over here we have like a couple little boulders, a couple of down logs, and maybe like a little hay loft storage type thing, as well as, oh, it's not a door, I always forget that, as well as some storage. And this might be like where the output of the wheat farm would go. Maybe somewhere up here. I'm not sure exactly how that would work logistically, but we'll work on that when we get there. So yeah, that is the farmlands. All right, and starting back over here in Lower Midtown, we are now going to move to the Painted Forest. Now, this has been a lot of fun to work on. I believe I might have mentioned earlier, we have 75 or so trees in here, and down there you kind of get an idea as to why it is called the Painted Forest, but we'll go ahead and touch on that in a second. Now, I do want to say, right, that this is not 100% complete yet, so might not see the full vision, but I'm gonna kind of give you guys a little sneak peek as to what's to come. And who knows, you might have actually tuned into some of the live streams where we were working on this, so maybe you already know what's up. If you were a part of those streams, hey, thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it, and if not, why not? What were you doing? No, I'm just kidding. I understand. Not everybody can make it. You'll be at the next one, I'm sure. Now, through the entryway here, I kind of experimented with some different things. I don't know if I like love it. I do like the idea of maybe having some like berry bushes or berry bush fields, maybe in like future farmlands expansions, or just like, you know, throughout the world. But not sure I like it. And then same here, this was actually all dirt, and I think it looked a lot better. As you can see, I kind of had it like bordered with rooted dirt. Did not work out. I must have missed a piece of grass somewhere, and yeah, now it's all grass, so kind of but I think you'll get the idea better as we get over to this other side here. I did want to include this boulder here because it kind of blocks the view a little bit of the windmill, so that when you're like, I was real into sightlines at this point, still trying to use it, but like you kind of get it popping through the trees like a little bit here, and you're like, ooh, what's that? So you're already intrigued, right? And then you walk up here, and then bam, you hit this opening, and you get all the, like, you know, the beauty of the crops and everything, and the windmill itself. And yeah, and then this river is actually going to extend from the waterfall. Hopefully by 3,000 days I'll have this done. Gonna cut through here. This is gonna be like a big like stone kind of archway where it's carved out the land underneath the forest, and yeah, it's gonna look a lot better than it does now. And then maybe we'll put some like bridges or something, I don't know, but that's kind of the plan there. Now, I didn't do too much with the forest over here, and you can still see there's like some experimentation like this and some torch spam. Oh, hello. Okay. Oh, it's because I have the golden carrots. Dude, I always do that. I always forget. Okay, all right. Well, nice to meet you, buddy. But over here on the right side of the pathway, you can really see what I'm going for here. Instead of having it be like a very like flowery kind of forest, I wanted this to almost be like a custom biome, right? Oh, I'm taking a screenshot. That looks really cool. But no, I almost wanted this to be like a custom biome. And I thought, you know what better way than to incorporate some coral in here, dude? Like, yeah, coral is awesome. It's very cool. I feel like it's kind of underused, at least by me personally. So I said, you know what, let's do it. I mixed some of the pinks and the purples and then a lot of foliage, trying to be careful where I add in like the too tall ferns in the grass so as to not like totally block it. And I also think the sugar cane is a nice little touch. And you'll see like in some of the other parts over here, the painted forest, I have all these torches, like this torch spam, but in here, not so much, right? I downloaded, oh, can you not? There we go. Can't see it when I'm in F1, I guess, when I hide the HUD. But I really wanted to add in some of this like softer lighting, I was calling it. And you can really see it at night. Like the forest has like a dim like glow to it. And this little lighting mod here was a big part of that. So I'm using Mini HUD is the name of the mod that I'm using here. And I just don't have any of the like overlay at the top left of my screen. Yeah, but just using it for lighting to get that like soft light effect. Then as you go down here, I wanted this to be more like foliage, more like vegetation. So that's where we get like the drip leaf and the bamboo. And I wish I didn't have to put the string here, but it doesn't look bad unless you're like up close, which we probably won't like walk through here too much. That's not what this is meant for. It's just kind of like to walk past, so you won't see too much of the string. But yeah, this is kind of meant to like divide into the yellow coral section, if you will. So then the yellow coral comes down. Oh, and you'll notice too that everything is moss. I'm mossifying, as I've called it, mossifying the whole forest. And honestly, oh, there's my bed. I've been looking for that, but anyways, mossifying the whole forest. And probably like when I go through and like finish up some of these little like unfinished bits in lower midtown and put in like the riverbanks, thinking everything else will probably get like fairly mossified as well. But this area here, right, another unfinished part of the forest, is going to be more of like, I think like a little campsite. I don't want to do anything too crazy. Like I don't know if I actually want like any tents or anything, maybe like some little ones, but I don't want it to take away. But I did want to intentionally leave a very like open place that it's like, you know, people might come and camp out, whether from the city or like the little spawn village over there or wherever in the world. But yeah, I didn't want to really like, I wanted to have like a really like open place where they might be able to see the stars. Whereas if you're walking along the pathway here, right, you can see it like poking in bits here, but not like as often. Yeah, then if we kind of continue down this way, nothing going on too much. But I was on stream experimenting with adding in even some of these like little like nether sprouts and stuff. Kind of got this idea from B-dubs. I have a really cool idea for that over here with what I want to do. Oh, hello. But with what I want to do over here, I think could be really cool. And yeah, that's way off in the future though. So we'll see. I don't super love this, but we'll probably end up doing something with it, maybe mixing into the blue coral. I guess you guys will just have to stick around and see what happens there. As for the actual trees though, in this forest, I designed like 8 or 9 different custom trees. So there's like 4 or 5 variants of these small, like little, like cypressy kind of trees. And then I wanted to build out, I guess this is kind of like a bigger version of that cypress, but you know, it has like the gray in the trunk and whatnot. And then there's a couple of these big, like, scraggly pine trees, I was calling them. So we have, like, this one that's kind of, it almost goes out a little bit more. And then I think my favorite, this is very inspired by, over on the Afterlife server, GP. He's done some really awesome stuff in the spawn area. Definitely go and check out his stuff. But I saw that he had used mud and the muddy mangrove roots, like, right in here. And I was like, wow, that is super cool. It almost looks like the bark on it. So yeah, super cool. And then I think there was, I think this might have been the last type of tree. that I did another like scraggly pine. It's kind of like the mud one, but a little bit taller and a little less of the darker trunk. So I guess, the idea here was to have a, wide variety of trees, and then I can kind of paste them in and rotate them and mix it all together. And it's made this like, beautiful forest. And I've gone on the record saying like, I don't know that I'm the most happy with these trees, but one, I could play around with custom trees forever and never be satisfied. So for like the sake of the world and the video, I just had to do some. But then two, I think that, while I might not be the most happy with these in the world, I think like it's not so much about the individual tree, right? I really wanted to mix in like the oak leaves and acacia leaves and get a good blend of the trunks and everything. And just, I don't know, yeah, really make this like feel like a forest, because you're never going to look at one tree, right? And you're never going to have just one type of tree in a forest. Even like look at the default Minecraft forests, like, okay, I guess that's a bad example, but like I'm thinking about the oak forest specifically, right? Or just the whatever they call it, like regular forest. You're gonna have a lot of like birch in there as well, mostly oak, but some birch as well. So that's why I thought it was important to get some like scraggly pines and some cypress and whatnot, kind of all mixed in here together. The only thing that sucks is if I show you guys this. Yeah, there's the problem. These trees are all spawnable. So we were over on the live stream working on the painted forest, working on like this section here just a couple days ago, and a creeper jumped out of the tree and he didn't blow up. I was very quick to react with my cat-like reflexes, but it was a little closer than I would have liked. So that's gonna be a project for me coming up soon here. I think that is definitely something that needs addressed. Alright, and taking a little detour from the builds, I want to show off this farm here because, well, honestly, after the next build or two here, it's pretty much just all technical stuff. So I got to keep you guys interested somehow. This is the iron farm. This was one of the first farms I made. Oh, hello. One of the very first farms I made. I think maybe the raid farm was before this. Yeah, I think Raid Farm was before this, but this might have been like the second farm I made. And it's cool. I would like to move it because I do have plans for this area. Like, it just feels a little weird kind of at the edge of the forest here, but you know what? This is where I built it, and this is where it's going to stay for now. Maybe it'll go inside the mountain. Oh, hello, pillagers. That's fun. We'll deal with them in a minute, but I think, yeah, the iron farm, right? Pretty standard, and oh, we're inside of a zombie. That's gross. Sorry about that. It's pretty full. Actually, it's very full because I've been doing some work in this area, but we'll have to go ahead and empty this out. As for, oh, that's terrible. So sorry about that, big man. As for the AFK place, pretty standard. Nothing too crazy here. So yeah, not the most exciting, and you know, hopefully that pleases some of you guys. You're more technical people. I don't know, exactly how it works. Well, actually, I guess I kind of do, right? The villagers are scared by the zombie. Oh, by Ed. Forgot his name was Ed. Hey, Ed, what's up, buddy? Gets scared by Ed, and they're, like, in danger, so I guess it triggers the mechanic that, like, spawns in an iron golem to protect them, because, right, technically this, I think, counts as a village, because we have enough villagers in here, and then, yep, oh, buddy, you are going to have a bad time. I feel bad about this. Oh, huh. There you go. You heard it here first, but, yeah. Definitely feeling a little bad about this farm, so let's get a move on. What do you say? So, ignoring those pillagers for now, I want to talk about the giant gray behemoth that just kind of sits behind the castle here. So, this thing is the most recent build. This is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, that I've known about ever since I built this castle, really, like 13, 14, 1500 days ago. Initially, I was trying to find an area with like a bunch of mountains around it. Like, this was around the time Caves and Cliffs came out, so I wanted to find a cool area, but I just kind of decided, like, you know what, I can't really move away from here. I like this area so much. I had like grown up there, I guess you could say. So yeah, I decided that I was just gonna kind of bring the mountains to me, and now one of my favorite things is to just go around and free cam and like look at the different angles here, and you could see it kind of from the city, or like You kind of see it peeking in, loading in from the farmlands or from the painted forest here, you know, whatever it is. I think this might be one of my favorite shots. You've seen this in thumbnails quite a bit, maybe even this thumbnail, I don't know. I haven't made this one yet, but you get the idea, right? It's a really awesome just kind of backdrop for the world, but I don't want it to be just that, because I've placed like a million stone for this, and I want it to be something more than that. So the other thing too I want to point out about this is like I have some really cool texturing over here that when we get far away, it's like, yeah, it does actually look like, you know, shadowy spots on the mountain. Like it looks a little more realistic. And then up here, we do have like some andesite and light gray wool towards the top. And I want to continue that and like make the like bright spots and stuff. But I had done, you know, hours and hours and hours of work, and this is not my full-time job, unfortunately. I don't have all that much time to dedicate. I'm pretty busy, believe it or not. I know, guy who plays Minecraft, right? Oh, who would have thought? But you know, I don't have a whole lot of time to dedicate towards this, so I really want to go back in and do more. But at the time, I was like, I just got to get this done and get like this giant gray behemoth out of here. So there will be more shaping and kind of adjusting of the mountain as we go. And same thing, like, right, I mentioned the river a clip or two ago. Like this is going to be a big episode at some point, and yeah, just a lot more to come around this area and with this area. But right now it's just kind of sitting here, and I think one of the best pieces of advice I got from a video was don't just build, you know, or do like a giant terraforming project for the sake of having a giant terraforming project. And that is very true. Now, I watched this video after, you know, having this whole idea and really wanting to do this and kind of having all the materials. So I was like, nah, I'm different. I am not different. This was a lot of work. This is tricky, but I think we'll kind of chip away at this over time. This is a project that I can come back to when I need like a little more of a grind in between like building or like finding inspiration. And speaking of grind, the back is not done. You are right, guys. The back is not done. Not even a little bit. Well, I guess kind of a little bit, but still needs a fair bit of work. So, yeah, unfortunately, there will be a lot more grinding on this. But the exciting thing is, like, if we look at this just from the inside, there is so much room to put, like, farms and whatever in here. Like, I think I put my creeper farm that I ended up tearing down. Actually, I think that was the first farm I made, was a creeper farm. But I need to rebuild it. And I want to build it inside here. And it takes up, like, a tiny bit of space, like here. I mean, we have so much room. So, like, the iron farm could probably go in here. And a whole bunch of other stuff that'll just be, like, hidden away. And then, you know, back here, I think the idea was to do a cyberpunk city. That's probably a ways off. I don't know if that's going to happen in 3,000 days. I'm kind of focused on the area in front of the castle and around the castle right now, but that's, I guess, a little sneak peek for you guys of what's going to happen. And I think that would be kind of cool, though, because it's, like, on the other side of the mountain, so maybe, like, not to be the two lovers, right, from Avatar, like, where the mountain keeps them apart, but it would make sense, maybe, you know, culturally, that they're more advanced or different. Maybe they're right on the water, access to, like, seaports and stuff, whereas the castle is, like, little more blocked off. Who knows? But maybe that could be a lore reason for the cyberpunk city being so advanced over here. All right, and kind of leaning into the more technical side here, guys, just on the back from the mountain, here is the tree farm. So I think the 3 types of wood this can do. Oh, another bed. Dude, I just have beds everywhere. Okay, well, I'm gonna hang on to this one, but good to know. This can do, I want to say birch, spruce, oak? That sounds about right. So it's pretty cool. I do like it a lot. I don't use it a whole lot, but when I do, like, it's awesome. I can use it for like 5 minutes and everything is done. And I have like more wood than I know what to do with for like months. Basically, if I go in here, I'll try to show you guys the redstone aspect of it. And I didn't design it. I think this was Shulkercraft design. Not sure. Don't quote me on that. You can watch the original video for that. But does use a TNT duper. I know people frown upon that, but you know what? It makes life easier and makes me, lets me enjoy my world more, spend more time doing the stuff I love. So basically, right, it kind of crushes these leaves and then it pushes out with it's like a piston feed tape in here that you can kind of see, like the piston wall, and it basically just pushes this out and gets blown up by the TNT. So there's that. Let's go check out, well, tell you what, I'm going to go fly around. I don't know what order to do these farms in, but we're going to be doing some more technical stuff here. So if that excites you, then yeah, and stick around, those of you who enjoy the building part of things, because you know what? I might talk more about future builds and maybe even show you a little sneak peek of what's to come. All right, and while I'm out this way, I figured we'd go ahead and stop by the raid farm. Now, I haven't actually used this since the episode I built it in, because I got like a shulker box or two of totems like right off the bat, which, yeah, a little OP, a little broken. Fair enough. I don't disagree with you. So yeah, I don't actually know that this still works, but you know what? It's here and it's part of our world. So yeah, here it is. All right, guys, and while we're out here in the middle of the ocean, I'm gonna take you to the Guardian Farm, which is somewhere around here. Somewhere. Ah, here we go. Just getting a little worried, not gonna lie. But yeah, here is our Guardian Farm. Oh, hello, Guardians. It's O'Reilly. Okay. It's pretty efficient. I had to add in a lot of different chests here. But I mean, yeah, I haven't used this for a while. I'll just go AFK overnight, because I do use a lot of prismarine and stuff in the base, as you saw, but I haven't used it for a while. Hoping as we start to add the new city section, we'll get back to using some of this, especially the dark prismarine. I just love it. But basically, right, they fall in, well, I think they spawn in here, and then something with the bubble columns. Oh, please don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. Thank you. Something with the bubble columns here. We'll free cam instead. And they get pushed into these campfires here. Totally painless death. They don't actually feel it. Scientists proved that. And then they get, their drops collected in the hoppers. And then I come along from my little AFK spot up there, and I collect everything up. Yeah, so pretty simple, nothing too crazy there. Also, I didn't design this. I forget who designed it, but you can check out the original video for that one. Pretty efficient farm, but it's kind of like the poor man's version, because I did not want to destroy this entire Guardian Temple. No, no, no. All right, and then kind of continuing out this way. Oh, that's cool. Underwater ruin portal. Wow. Learn something new every day. But then continuing out this way, I have a couple farms over in these swamps. Yeah, here's the first one. I was like, I know I have at least two. So which one's this? Oh, this is actually not the farm I thought it was. Cool. This is the witch farm. I'm not even gonna, well, I'll try to explain how it works for you guys, but it's got something to do with boats. That much is clear to me. So the boat like cycles around. I guess the witches spawn on these layers, and then they get, oh, I'm not going down there. We're gonna go far away, but they get crushed. I think it's like, yeah, the entity cramming thing. They get crushed in a bunch of mine carts, and yeah, also fun fact, entity cramming is like my biggest fear in this world, I guess, because I don't know. I feel like what else could really happen to kill me at this point? I have a bajillion totems. I'm gonna knock on wood real quick, but I play it very safe. So, yeah, that's a witch farm, though. I only really built that for one time when I needed redstone. And then there's another farm around here somewhere. At least there should be. All right, here it is. I did find it after some time. And actually, I did a good job, like, lighting up this area. I mean, there's not a whole lot of land here, but, like, not bad, not bad. This, though, is a slime farm. And I actually built this around the time those like candle slime farm type things came out. Obviously nothing in here now because I haven't been AFK, but pretty simple design inside. Oh, Enderman. That might mess up the farm. I should fix that. But yeah, pretty simple. I think this is like the candle idea is that it's low enough light for slimes to spawn, but nothing else to spawn. And then they see this iron golem. They're like, yo, let me kill this guy. Oh, they fall in here. They get burned by the campfire or the lava, depending on how big they are. And then just easy money, easy slime. Big win for your boy. I don't think I ever said ya boy in my entire life. Alright guys, I'm popping our way into the nether here. We have the bee farm. So this is... Oh, okay, so it's actually doing some work. Oh, spoilers for where we're going soon here. But yeah, this is one of the ones that I built in the nether because, well, bees, there's no day-night cycle in the nether, so the bees can be like twice as efficient, basically, is how that works. So pretty cool. I just set up like a little AFK box here. Basically the bees, they hop out, right? They pollinate the flowers, and then depending on, what do I think I have shears. Yeah. So I have shears in there, so that gets me the honeycomb, which, oh, wow, it's working right before our eyes. But we have it set up for that, but you can also use it for honey bottles, which you can also use to make honey blocks. Pretty cool farm, pretty simple, not really like much redstone. I did follow a tutorial for this, but like, let's be honest, guys, I feel like I could follow or could figure this out myself without a tutorial, but I don't know. I'm not the most redstone savvy, so who knows. Also, dude, what are you doing in here? You're like one of my good villagers. Okay, fair enough. Sticking with the theme of nether farms, I think I'm following the right path. Yes, I am. This is another one that I actually have not been to since I first used it. And you can kind of see what it is. Oh god, we're gonna back away a little bit. This is a loud one. So many damn minecarts. But yeah, this is a froglight farm. So the setup for this was a little intense. Had to get all these frogs. I think I have I think at least, yeah, 5 or 6 different versions of each frog, but they're very well cared for, right? They get to hang out here. All the magma cubes spawn here on these platforms. They get aggroed by the iron golems. Oh, actually, we're going to see it in action, maybe. It's just very slow. So this guy's going to jump over here. He's going to get turned into little guys because he can walk on the chains, but the little ones can't. Are you guys little enough? Nope. Okay. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying this because this is going to be a really slow process. Okay. Oh, there we go. And you can see, yeah, they get eaten when they turn into the little guys. They get eaten by the frogs because frogs, to make frog lights, eat magma cubes, which is still one of the weirdest mechanics in the game to me, but I kind of like it. It's cool. It's unique. It's like, it's something fun. So not very realistic, but I mean, then like magma cubes aren't really a real thing. So yeah, super cool. Obviously then the stuff just gets picked up in these hopper mine carts. And of course I did not design this farm because, well, I have no ability to do that, but hey, somebody else did it, and I think that is beautiful. Alright guys, and for our final farm here in the nether, we are heading to the wither skeleton farm. I don't stop out here all that often, so it takes a long time. But I don't stop out here a whole lot just because, again, it takes a long time, but I don't, like, I made a ton of beacons. Every now and then I'll stop over here to get some, for like decorative purposes, but also just kind of fills up your inventory pretty fast here. Basically I'm not going to go through this portal because it would probably kill me, but basically the wither skeletons, I forget how exactly it works with the multiple portals here, but they somehow, I think they like teleport from the other side over here. They all get basically just way too cramped, and yeah, you can see they start falling down here, and then I can just take a couple swings at them, and you know what, let's see, can we get lucky and get a skull? This was a really good source of bone meal too for a while, but not so much these days. Now I have the bone meal farm for that, so there's no real real point. And tell you what, I'll let these, like, this last batch guys here die, and we'll see if we can get a skull. If not, we'll head over to the end. And oh, hey, we got one. Cool. Okay, well, tell you what, with our newfound luck, let's head over to some of our farms over in the end dimension. Okay, I know I said we were going to the end, but this might be the luckiest I just got. I just took like another 2 swipes and I got 2 more heads. That's crazy. All right, can we make it 4? It looks like I'm not a liar. Ah, no, okay, I'm a liar. All right, and here we have our end portal room. Nothing special, but I would like to customize that at some point, he said before he fell into the portal unintentionally. And then, yeah, over here we have our farm that needs a railing. No, but we have our Enderman farm. And, oh, I'm just falling. This thing is great. I use it to repair my tools all the time. Kind of terrifying getting over here. And then you'll see just how quickly... Oh, okay, that's... that's loud. Watch this. We're going to do that. Yeah, I can, like, here, if I give you guys a couple swipes here, you'll see. I mean, I'm already at 46 levels, so I've got a lot of XP as is. I think I definitely, like, the tutorial I followed, I think had a way to just totally, like, launch these pearls out into the void, so it's not causing any lag. Probably should have figured that part out. Let's just... Oh my gosh. There we go. Jeez. Okay. Get rid of these stone swords too. We don't need those. Anyways, though, back to the farm itself. It's pretty awesome. You know, you get the occasional Enderman down here landed. Oh, glad free cam doesn't aggro them. But basically how this works is pretty simple, right? We have an Endermite chilling in there, which Endermen really don't like. They get super pissed off anywhere they teleport here. I don't know if anybody's gonna spawn. No. No? Sure. Okay. Why? Yeah, that's fine, guys. Make me look bad. But they get pissed off at the Endermite here, and then they all run at it, fall down here, where they are nearly dead, and then I can just take one swing, and I think, do I have Sweeping Edge? I don't. Okay. Well, I should put Sweeping Edge on this sword, because it'll kill them a lot quicker. But, yeah. See, I'm already up to, like, 50 levels, and I've only been here for, I mean, what, maybe a minute of, like, swinging, so pretty cool. Watch, I'll get these guys too. I think they should be pretty low. Yep. There you go. Get off of the pathway. For our next farm, we're gonna have to very carefully walk up this janky staircase and try not to fall off, because our next farm is way out in, like, the outer end islands. So far, oh, that always freaks me out. So far out here that I genuinely do not remember how to get there, so I am going to look at my coordinates, and yeah, I'll let you guys know when we're a little bit closer. Alright, we're not quite there yet, but I think, actually, pretty sure, yeah, looks like it. I think this is the ship where I got my first elytra, like, almost 3 years ago. So, super cool. Fun little Easter egg, callback, whatever. Oh, I missed a shulker there. That's fine, I'll let him be. So, yeah, and actually, oh, there's an exit portal there, so that'll come in handy later, hopefully. And this guy's been, man, waiting to hit me for like 3 years. Sorry, buddy. Maybe next world tour. And there it is in all of its scaffoldy glory, we'll say. Perfect. Tell you what, I'm going to land right here. Hopefully, none of these guys can get me. Oh, you can see, too, I didn't really clean up the rails too much, but I think I just needed a small little end city like this, just to be able to get, you know, a shulker or 2 into the farm to get it started. So let's start out by, well, I don't know why I come out here. I guess it's just cool, because I feel like not a lot of people build these, especially not in the end. And honestly, I was just too lazy to build it in the overworld. I did not want to try to bring a shulker back, so it's a little inconvenient, but I mean, I only really ever need, I've ran this once, actually. Literally the day that I built it, I ran it for like an hour, and it made me just a billion shulker shells. I've never needed to get any more, so, which is good because it's a little hard to access here, this chest, but basically, the shulker, when you turn it on, which I totally remember how to do, the shulker gets like duplicated, and I think this is the on switch. Yep. Basically, this guy, I think it's duplicated. Yeah, when it turns on, and they can like teleport up, and eventually they teleport into here, where they are picked up in these mine carts, and then somehow something happens where they're dead and end up in here. Or actually, no, maybe they're picked up. They teleport, yeah, up here onto these little platforms. Yep, the minecart picks them up, and then they are in here and crushified, where I just kind of come down at the end and I grab my shulker shells, which actually, you know what, let's see, can I? Oh, crap. Did I just break that? This farm's been working for 3 years and I just broke it. No, there we go. Okay. Let's see. Can I open this up? Is there anything in here? No, I didn't think so. Okay. That makes sense. So, yeah, everybody, happy, like, yearly trip out to the shulker farm to absolutely do nothing. And it might even have broken because, like, the one time I used it, there were some shulkers on here, so maybe it wasn't even as efficient as it could have been. But honestly, I don't really care because, like, I got like a double chest full of shulker shells or something crazy like that, so I don't think I'll ever need any more. I mean, I hope to at some point because I want to be in this world forever, but yeah, probably I'm not going to ever run out. So super cool farm. Definitely would recommend it if you are looking for a shulker farm and you just don't mind the trip out over the End Islands. And time now to head back to a dimension where not everything terrifies me. Oh. And I guess this is where I spawn in the world. Is this 0, 0? No, maybe this doesn't do that anymore. So cool. Now you guys know where I spawned at in the world when I first started. Wait a second. Is this? I think this is where I spent my first night. Whoa, I don't think I... Oh, wait, this is so cool. I don't actually think I've been back here since day one. This was, guys, this was not planned. This was not originally part of the tour, but wow, look at that. A little, fun little extra for you all. That's so cool. So yeah, wow, I didn't really go too far. And with that, guys, we have officially completed the world tour for 2,000 days. I just want to give a very heartfelt thank you to all of you who have watched this entire thing and are still here with me. That is super cool. And if you've made it this far, drop down below in the comments what your favorite part of the world tour was, what you want to see in 3,000 days. And yeah, I hope that you will stick around, subscribe, and maybe see what I'm going to build. Join me on this journey to 3,000 days. We are actually already a little bit underway, as this is coming out closer to 2,100 days. Oops, my bad. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do sincerely hope you enjoyed. I had a blast making this. It's always cool going back and seeing what you've done, you know, over the past 2,000 days, or what, it's probably been about a year since I've uploaded a world tour. So super fun for me as well to see all the work that we've accomplished. Looking forward to more. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.